psychology is a very diversified field. Again, most people like to think of psychology as clinical psychology. And when we think about clinical psychology, we tend to think about the psychologist in the private practice setting, seeing patients on a day-to-day basis. And that's a big chunk of why people get into psychology or graduate programs are established. But there's a lot more that psychologists do. There's neuropsychologists who look at EEG brain waves of clients, and there are experimental psychologists that look at the effects of certain drugs on rats, and they apply that to the human population. There are industrial organizational psychologists that look at how can we effectively or help make an organization run more effectively? How can we help team building processes? There's also school psychologists that work with psychometrics and testing for gifted students. So psychology is a very broad, very, very broad field that has a lot of different avenues that a graduate student or that a person could explore as far as careers.
Day in the life of a middle school teacher. Middle school is considered grades 6 through 8. During these years, students are learning higher level math, writing, and reading comprehension skills, as well as good study habits and organizational skills that they will need as they transition to high school. My day begins at 8 a.m. with math. Right now we are learning about ratios, proportions, and percents. After math, we move on to writing. Right now we are learning about sentence editing. Since I teach at a private school, my classes tend to be smaller than those at a normal public school. Selecting a school that will work with and mentor their teachers is a big part of becoming a successful teacher. Finding a school that you feel as though you belong to is a big part of loving what you do for a living. My students do change classes throughout the day and have different schedules on different days of the week. I knew I wanted to be a teacher when I was in elementary school. I have a bachelor's in science in elementary education from Ohio Dominican College and a child development associate certificate from the Council for Professional Recognition in Washington, D.C. I chose to teach middle school because it is probably the most challenging time in a child's life. I want to help make these years as easy as possible as they transition to high school. After my writing class is over, I have a free bell for an hour, which gives me an opportunity to grade papers, make lesson plans, and occasionally meet with parents. Teachers have lunch from 11 o'clock to 11:30, and I have a different group of students for high school composition as well as high school literature, followed again by my middle school students for reading class from 1:30 to 2 p.m. My last class of the day varies from study hall to my soccer club on Thursdays to student group presentations on Fridays. My school day ends when I am prepared for the next day.